everybody, it's Amy from the Swisher Family Homestead. We are doing some fall gardening today. I'm going to be planting some seedlings and also doing some seed starters for our fall crops. So I wanted to kind of take you on the journey as to what we're doing today so you can see what we're planting. We're going to take you on a quick tour of the garden. You can see here's our squash plants. Still producing. It's been 2.5 months since we planted these. We've eaten a ton of squash. There are 2 plants here. And we've already eaten a ton, and there's still blossoms on here. Look, still blossoms way down in there. And there's squash back there, and some more blossoms over there. Oh, and take a look at this. Look at that one. And that's about the size that we've been getting off the squash plant. It's amazing. These are our sweet potatoes right here. We planted those about the same time as the squash, so we are going to leave those in for about another 45 days. Pull them out and start checking them. Here's one of our cherry tomato plants that's still left. We did have some hornworms come in and decimate some of our tomatoes. And we've really tried to get a handle on them. We definitely think we've got a better handle on them for next year. We did some research on the internet and found a concoction that we can use to spray on the tomato plants that the hornworms don't like. They don't like Dawn dish soap. And so you do like 1 part Dawn dish soap to 10 parts of water. And we like to put a little dab of hot sauce in there because they don't like that either. And we spray the bottom of the leaves, and we just do it 1 time and leave it on there until it rains, and then go out and spray it again. And this tomato plant we've been able to save. And then we've got our San Marzano tomatoes right here, and those we really haven't had a problem with the hornworms like we did with the other tomatoes. So this is one of our fall crops, the San Marzano tomatoes. And you know, with Justin being a chef, he can make homemade spaghetti sauce. And those are the tomatoes that he likes to use. And they are so sweet. That's what they use in Italy to make sauce. It is so good. And then we've got our 2 zucchini plants down here. One of the things that we have figured out that we want to do for next year, we're already planning our garden for next year. One of the things that we've figured out is that we want to plant the zucchini plants right next to each other. They are pollinating and producing zucchini, but not as quickly as the squash plants. So we want to make sure that we plant them next to each other next year. We've got a fall crop of lettuce started here, a fall crop of spinach and some beans, and then another fall crop of lettuce right here. We had torrential downpours the last couple of days. Had some storms go through and had some really heavy rains, probably 3 to 4 inches in 2 days. So while we love the water, or our garden loves the water, our sunflowers don't necessarily. You can see some of our sunflowers have kind of fallen over, so we're going to try and hopefully stake those back up, and they'll come back. We've had that happen over with the other ones, and as they grow, they go back up. So hopefully that will happen with these too. But we have our pepper plants here, our bell peppers, and you can see our bell peppers. We've got one right there, and there's a whole bunch of buds and flowers on that one. And we've got some good peppers right here. So our summer garden did pretty well. We're very excited about our summer garden. It did really well. And Justin's got some Hungarian peppers over here, and some cayenne peppers and jalapeno peppers. He really loves hot stuff, and so those are for him to grow. And then we've got some okra plants over here. Let me come over here and show you these. We planted these in the ground from seedlings 2 weeks ago, and they are already starting to really blossom out, or grow out. And okra plants, if you are not familiar, oh, there's a bug eating that one over there. I'm gonna have to look at that. But if you're not familiar with okra, you've never grown it before, okra will get huge. And so today, what I'm going to be doing today is this plot right here. This is where our corn was, right here along the fence. We're going to be planting some broccoli and cauliflower right here. I did some seeds, seed starters for broccoli and cauliflower and got those ready. And they are ready to go in the ground today. And then I'm going to do some additional seed starter, and that will be one of the starter things for our fall garden. So we're going to take you along for the journey. Alright, so Justin came through here after we pulled out the corn, and he went through with the tiller and tilled this up again. So now that he's tilled it up, then I'm going to go through with the hoe and make my rows to put the broccoli and cauliflower in. And we're going to do it about 6 inches off of the fence because we do want to put another row in front of that. So this is going to be, and you can see, I was worried because we had so much rain yesterday. I was worried that this was going to be like really hard and compact. But you can see, look how easy, because he tilled this the other day. The hoe just goes right through it. So I'm very happy with that. Just pull it right up and get my row going. And I got a couple weeds up here, so I'll pull them out as I go by. You guys remember from some earlier videos, and I'll put a link to what this area used to be. I'll put a link to that right here. But this used to be all forest. And now we have our garden here. So some of the roots that we didn't get fully up, some of the roots to the trees, they're still sprouting trees. So we got to be real careful with that when we're planting and stuff, because sometimes we get leaves to come up that are trees. So I'm gonna go get my starters and start putting those in, and you'll get to see that as well. One of the things that I think we've started growing in our garden that we didn't plant is rock. I don't know where these rocks come from. We thought we got them all out when we tilled the first time, and then every time we till in a section, more rocks come up. So I don't know who planted the rock seeds, but anyway, I will say, I know, I mean, you can tell on the videos, I'm overweight, but I will say, since I've been doing this stuff and working in the garden and getting up and down, and doing a lot more stuff outside than I have in a long time, it's much easier for me to get up and down, which is awesome. So I'm excited about that. I can tell I've lost weight. My friends can tell I've lost weight, and my husband can tell I've lost weight. So that's a good thing. I'm going to keep doing it, and I like working outside and getting my hands dirty. And we're going to get these broccoli things planted. We're going to start planting some broccoli seedlings and see how well they take off. And I have a feeling the dirt's not packed in here quite as tightly as I would like it to be. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, we're good. And fortunately, it's very wet, and the soil is very wet, so I should be able and just like we told you before, we always keep these. These are things that are, this one, I don't even remember what came in this, but it might have been our pepper plants. But we keep these and we reuse them. So we can use them multiple times a season to make sure that we are basically recycling. You know, I do like to get the biodegradable ones that I can use in the garden, but you know, these work too. And it's nice because you can reuse it. So I have planted the broccoli that we had as seed starters, and 2 cauliflower. Only 2 cauliflower came in. Not sure why. The soil was a good mixture, but I don't know if the seeds got wet or something before they were planted. They didn't look right, so only 2 of them came up. So these over here are our broccoli. These are our broccoli, and then the 2 that I put off over here by themselves, these are our cauliflower. So you saw me plant the broccoli seedlings that we made. So my husband and I both love broccoli, and our plan is that not only are we going to have fresh broccoli, but we now have a freezer, and we want to freeze some of the broccoli and squash and cauliflower and things like that so that we can use it throughout the winter time. And so I'm going to start some more broccoli seedlings, and so I'm going to show you what we do. We've already got the dirt ready, so it's got some topsoil, peat moss, and then some of our own dirt in there. So we wanted to keep our seeds in the garden, but we wanted to have a way to keep them dry and out of the elements. So when Justin finished building something, he had a box of deck screws, or a box that had deck screws in it, that has a nice tight lid that seals, and we can keep our seeds in here all organized. Doesn't look very organized right now, but we do have, there is a system to it. Like the things that need to be planted in certain months are grouped together. And so we keep them together like that, because then we know when we need to plant things. So what I'm going to be doing today is early green broccoli. And these can be planted. Most seeds on the back will show you a map of the United States, and then it's color coded. And over here, depending on what state you live in, this little chart over here is going to tell you when to plant this particular seed from seed to get the best vegetables or fruit or production from the seed. So this one, we live in Tennessee, which is yellow. And for this one, this particular fruit, or this particular seed, the planting time is best from March to April, or August or September. And it also tells you how to plant it, the best way to plant it. So it needs to get full or partial sun, moderate moisture, a 1/4 inch depth, 18-inch spacing when we plant it in the ground, and it's 60 days to harvest from the time that you plant the seeds. In 60 days, we're gonna have broccoli, heads of broccoli. So that's very exciting. One of the reasons we like this particular brand, and this video is not sponsored by this brand or anything, is the packages are not paper. They've kind of got like a foil on the inside, and it has a kind of like a Ziploc baggie at the top. So like a plastic baggie, it's got a little plastic zipper at the top. You can seal it up. You don't have to worry about your seeds being all over the place, because down in the bottom of this there are a variety of seeds that we're not sure what they are, because they fell out of their packages. And what we were doing with the other packages that aren't out of this are we sealed them up with a paper clip. But sometimes the paper clips come off, the package opens, seeds go all over the bottom, and then you can plant a mixed variety of stuff because you have no idea what it is. So for this, what I'm going to do first is I have my seed tray here. So you can see I have my seed tray here. I've got my dirt right here, and I'm going to get the dirt in here first. Then I put my seeds in, and then I put a light layer of dirt over the top, and then I'm going to show you how I water it here in the garden. Justin did set me up with a very nice pump, and one night when I have to water, I will come out here with the camera and I'll show you how Justin set it up to where I can water the garden from the totes that we have. We have both. We have one tote that has our well water in it, so that we can fill it up from our well. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link to it here. But we have one tote that has well water in it, and then the other tote is the one that we prefer to use. But if we have a drought, then we have to fill it up with well water. But we have a range catchment system, which is this above me. Justin put this little roof overhang here in the garden, next to the garden table, or right over top of the garden table. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link to that video right here as well. Justin built this garden table for us so that we could work out here in the garden. It's basically counter height, so it's really, really easy to work on. And it has a little grate in it, so if we needed to break up some clumps of dirt, we can do that. But then as we started working out here, we realized it's really hot here. So he built this overhang, but when he built the overhang, it slanted a little bit in towards the chicken coop, and then he put a gutter on it. And the gutter, you can see there goes the gutter. There's the gutter, goes right over there and right into our first tote, and then the tote on the other side of that, that is our well tote. So we have one tote that has our rainwater in it, and then the other tote has our well water in it. And like I said, if there's a drought or there's a few days that we don't get any rain, then the tote is going to go down pretty quickly because I'm going to use it to water the garden. So it's good that we have a well, because then we can refill it as we need to. And Justin got a 100-foot hose, which reaches to every place on the homestead that we're currently using that we might need to fill up a tote from the well. So I'm going to set up the camera and show you me filling these this tray and putting our dirt in it, getting it all mixed together, and then putting the seedlings in there, and then I'm going to show you how I water it. So I've got my tray here. We've got our dirt, and we have some nice dirt. I mean, this dirt has been, and look at this, we grew another rock. How did that get in our dirt? But I like to come in here, and before I start planting, I like to just mix it up real well and take care of that so it's all mixed together. What? Oh.
Repurposing, huh?
Yep, definitely. Gotta use.
Why throw it away? Why ruin the environment when you can keep using them over and over and over again?
Yep. Everything on the homestead needs to be used, something that can be used more than once.
Multifunctional.
Sometimes they've broken, so when you're pushing down on them, the dirt goes right out the side. So that's not helpful. Really? How you doing, hey hey? Okay. So one of the things that's nice about these, if you can see on the side over here, there is a little bit of a lip right here. I try not to fill the dirt in above that lip. And the reason is because I want to have space. So I go in and I just dig a little hole with my finger. A little hole. And if you're doing soil blocks, it does the same thing. If you're using the little mold, it's got the little indentation right there in the top for your soil block, or for your seed to go in. Right now I'm doing it by hand. And one thing you got to be careful of, broccoli seeds are tiny. Now what I usually do is probably overkill, but I try to put 2 seeds in each one. And the reason for that is that hopefully one of them will come out, or one of them will grow. And I put them all back in there. And then I can seal it right back up and save them for next year. Then I will take and I will make sure that they are just covered up. These you only have to put a 1/4 inch deep into the soil. So you just get you only have to put these a 1/4 inch deep in the soil. So just dig the hole like to about halfway of your finger. Like right here where halfway up your finger. Put the hole in there, and then when you cover it over, that's about a 1/4 inch. Now, you can see this is kind of dry, so I'm going to take you over here and show you how I get it wet. You can see this spigot right here goes to our rainwater catchment. So I don't want to turn it on full blast because that'll just shoot the dirt right out of there. So I just open it a little bit. Just a little bit. And then I can get each one wet. And I may go over it twice just to make sure. And then I turn it around. Yeah, I'm probably going to go over these twice. This soil was really kind of dry, which is good. I mean, we keep it under. Alright, so now these are our broccoli seedlings. Now you can see we have some cauliflower right there. We planted those a couple weeks ago. I'm not quite sure why they aren't coming up, but we're going to give it about another 2 weeks to see if anything comes up. Keep it moist, keep watering it, and see what happens. We have some beets right here. Not quite ready to plant, so we're not going to be doing that today. We're going to let them go for a couple more weeks. And then here's our broccoli that we just planted. So that is what we are doing for our fall garden right now. Well, thank you for coming along with me today. If you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up. It really helps us out, helps share our video with other people. And if you did like our video and you've hit the thumbs up, then feel free to share it with your friends. If you want to hear more about what we're doing here on the homestead, please hit the subscribe button and hit that little notification bell so that you get notified when future videos are uploaded. We really appreciate all the support that we're getting, and thank you for stopping by. Have a good day.